guys, it's me, and today I'm going to be showing you how I painted my cracks on my Kylo Ren mask. Let's get started. The first thing that I did was sketch out where I wanted the cracks to be. I used a mechanical pencil to do this. Make sure you use as many reference pictures as you can possibly find, just to make sure that it's as close to the actual helmet as possible. So the next thing I do is paint over my lines with white paint. I try and make it as thin as possible, but it's going to be thick anyways, which is totally okay. Make sure to make the layers really thin. Even if you can still see black under, it's totally fine, just the thinner is, the better it will stay on. I also, after I paint on a layer, once it's dry, I take my fingernail and run across the edge to make it as, smooth as possible. I just like how that looked, and if you mess up, don't use like a paper towel or try to wipe it off with your finger or anything, because it just gets all over your mask. Just wait until it dries and then scratch it off with your fingernail, because it comes off super easily. Now for the second layer of white paint, it's much easier to do because you're just following the same line, and if you go off that line, that's totally cool. Just make sure you run your fingernail across it and then it will come right off. And if it comes off too much, just repaint over it. It's totally fine. The next thing I do is put on red paint. Now, filling in the red paint was much easier than doing the white paint. It was kind of just like filling in the lines. I'm doing the same thing as I did with the white, making sure that the layers are super thin, and I only did 2 layers of the white, and now I'm doing 2 layers of red. I found that if I do any more layers of red, then it's just too dark, and I don't like how that looks. You can totally do as many layers or darken the red or do whatever you want to your paint. It's your mask. And also, I'm still running my fingernail across the line, and if you chip off too much over the white, you can totally fill it in with white and just keep going, or you can just paint over it with red and see if you like that. I totally forgot to say this. Make sure each layer is completely dry before you start painting over it again, otherwise it will just mix and be gross and won't look good. So the next day, after it was completely dry, I took a small section in the back and painted Mod Podge over it. I wanted it to seal it because my fingernail can just go right over it and scratch it and make it look gross. So I wanted to make sure it sealed, but I wanted to make sure that it didn't ruin what I did. So I used a small piece in the back to make sure that it looked okay. I let it dry overnight because I forgot, and then in the next morning I decided it looked good and I just did the rest of the mask. So now you want to cover your whole mask in Mod Podge because I didn't like how it looked. It changed the whole texture of it. So if you just do the whole thing, then it'll all be one texture. Okay, so my camera ran out of storage, so cut off the last bit, but I just covered the whole mask in Mod Podge. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!